Hello, class 9. This is Miss Urai, and today we will continue with the chapter humidity, and the topic for today will be condensation. Existence of life wouldn't have been there if there was no condensation. So what exactly is condensation? As the definition is given there, it's the process of water vapor changing or transforming into liquid or solid state. That is known as the condensation. Okay, when the water vapor it changes into liquid or solid state, then it is known as condensation. But talking about condensation, when the water vapor it changes directly into solid state, then we call it the process of sublimation, or it is also known as the process of crystallization. So the second point that is there is nuclei is required for condensation. So nuclei or central point, it is required for the condensation to take place, and the nuclei can be smoke and dust. So until and unless there is no smoke and dust particles, then they wouldn't have been any kind of condensation taking place. So because dust particles and smoke particles are there, that's why condensation is taking place. That's why condensation takes place only in the troposphere, because in troposphere we have dust particle as well as smoke particles, but in the other sphere like stratosphere there is no presence of the dust particle or smoke. The third point, that is sublimation, we've already talked about. That is conversion or conversion of water vapor into solid directly. That is known as the sublimation. Then the fourth one, condensation occurs in many ways. So condensation, it occurs in different ways. Okay, so when the warm air it rises, it starts to expand. At that time, cooling down of the warm air takes place, and so the condensation takes place. And also, when the warm air that is there, it comes in contact with the cold surface, or the warm air that is there, moist air that is there, it mixes with the air coming from the colder area, then also condensation takes place. In the previous presentation, I've already talked about the saturated air. So by now you might be understanding as to what the saturated air mass is. So when this saturated air mass, it reaches the dew point, okay, at that time also the condensation, it takes place. The last point is condensation depends on relative humidity and degree of cooling. That is why in arid region, especially arid land region, large degree of cooling is necessary, okay, before the dew point is reached, while in the humid climate, lesser degree of cooling is necessary. Okay, now after we have dealt with the condensation of the water vapor has taken place, the moisture that is present in the atmosphere, it takes different forms. Okay, now we will talk about the different forms of condensation, that is dew, frost, fog, mist, cloud, etc. They are the different forms of condensation. So talking about the dew, when condensation occurs on some solid object, okay, condensation, it occurs in some solid object like the leaves of the plant, flowers, grass blades, pieces of small rock, or a small iron piece which has been cooled down to a great extent because of the radiation, terrestrial radiation that takes place at night. So because of it, the deposition of the water droplet, okay, takes place on this object. This is called the dew. The water that is deposited on this solid object is known as the dew. And sometimes due to excessive fall in the temperature, the solid object, it becomes so cold that instead of forming minute water droplets, minute crystals of ice is formed instead of water droplet. So this ice crystal, it is known as the frost. So the ice crystal, it is known as the frost, and the water droplet, it is known as the dew. Then we will talk about the fog. Okay, what exactly is fog? It is the cloud that is formed on the ground closer to the surface of the earth, that is known as the fog. And very small water droplets that remain suspended in the air close to the earth's surface. So we can say that fog, it is actually a very minute water droplet that is remaining suspended, that is actually flowing in the air close to the earth's surface. It is known as the fog. Another form of condensation that we will be talking about is the cloud. So what exactly is a cloud? The definition has been given in the slide. It is defined as the visible aggregation of minute water droplets slash ice particles in the air above the ground, meaning it is the collection of minute, very small water particles as well as very small ice crystals that is in the air above the ground. It is known as the cloud. Base of the cloud, it indicates as to which elevation was the dew point reached, okay, by the cloud. That can be known from the base of the cloud. Then Luke Howard was the first to classify cloud. Okay, so Luke Howard, he was an English biologist and was the first one who classified cloud in 1803, and the cloud was classified, okay, on the basis of their height and shape. Cloud can be classified into two types, that is the low cloud and the high cloud. And under low cloud comes those kind of cloud which is existing from the surface to 2000 meter, and high cloud are those cloud which is formed above the height of 6000 meter. Talking about low cloud, some examples are stratocumulus, nimbus stratus, cumulus or heap cloud, cumulonimbus, that is the layer cloud, and the nimbus or the rain bearing cloud are the low cloud. And the high clouds are cirrus, cirrostratus, cirrocumulus. All these are the names of the high cloud. Now we will talk about the importance of the cloud. Okay, so first importance is it is meteorologically significant, meaning where weather is concerned, that way it is very important. Because all the precipitation, it occurs via the cloud. There would be no precipitation if cloud was not there. It's not that all the clouds does give precipitation, but if there's no presence of cloud, no precipitation is there. Second one is it helps us to know more about various meteorological processes. Various meteorological processes that is taking place in the atmosphere, we know about it with the help of the clouds. Third one is plays an important role in the heat budget, meaning cloud, it absorbs some part of the incoming solar radiation, it also absorbs some part of the terrestrial radiation, and it is also radiating back heat from the surface. So it is playing, all this is associated with the heat budget, so it is playing a very important role in the heat budget. The last one is cloud radiates heat continuously. So the heat is being continuously radiating or being given out from the cloud. In the absence of the cloud, days would have been much warmer and nights would have been much colder. But because of the presence of the cloud, the days and nights are moderate. Okay girls, this is all for today. We will be continuing with it in the next presentation. Okay, please study, do your work, the work that I have given. Please do it. Stay home and stay safe. Okay girls, bye bye.